What's up? This is Richie from the Where We Wild YouTube channel, and today I'm going to show you how to adjust your bait caster and how to cast it. So this wind today is bad news. You see wind coming in your face like this, you're going to have a problem if you're just starting with a bait caster. But first thing you want to do, day one with your new bait caster, open her up and you want to put all the brakes on. Right now I got, I think, 3 off and 1 on, but if I were you, I would click them all on. Out is on, like that, and pushed in is off. So now all the brakes are on when they're laid out like that. Anyway, on this Shimano reel anyway, but that's usually how it goes. Let me close this up. Then a lot of reels will have this outside adjustment, and you want to crank that up too. We'll put it on 6. So now all the brakes are on this thing. Next thing you want to do is you want to tighten your tension knob, bring it all the way towards you, so I guess it would be clockwise, so it's super tight, and when you push the button down, the bait doesn't move. So you just want to slowly turn this knob counterclockwise until you get a slow fall on your bait. Just little tiny, there it is right there. So now we got really bad wind, so this is a bad day for it. But then after that, you just want to press your thumb bar down, keep your thumb on the spool. Every bait and every rod's gonna have a different release point, but it's kind of like throwing a baseball. You want to feel that weight in your arm and let it go right at that perfect release point, and you'll just get a feel for it over time. So button down, hand on the spool. You're gonna come back, and when I hit that release point, I'm gonna let it go, but I'm not gonna let it go completely. I'm gonna keep my thumb just barely skimming that line so it kind of controls it. If you let it go completely, it might blow up on you, but you got all these brakes turned on, so dot 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 dot. See, so if it hits the water and your finger's not on there, the spool is going to keep going. So you want to make sure that you can control that. But honestly, with this reel dialed in, even with this wind cranking, I might not even have to touch this thing. See, I barely had to thumb it at all. So those adjustments that I made, even though the wind's coming right at us, which is the hardest conditions, this thing's still performing really, really well. So once again, button, thumb on the spool, find the release point, let it go, dot, 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 stop. You'll get used to how long you have before you actually hit the water, but just watch it or listen for it. So practice that for a little while. Once you got that down, then you can start lowering these outside brakes. So we'll take it from 6 to 5. And you just work your way down, work your way down, work your way down. Once you're comfortable with that, then we can open the reel back up and you can take another brake off. So it's just basically like a slow skim of your thumb until you hit the water, and then you fully press your thumb down and stop the spool. And as you mess with this stuff, you're gonna get more distance, but it's gonna get more wild. So if I make this fall faster with this spool tension, I'm gonna get more distance. I'm sure you could hear that. It was like a little looser, but it was a little more wild and hard to control. So when you're first starting, just that slow drop. And so say you don't want to fish this jig anymore, right? You're gonna throw something else, repeat the whole process. You're gonna have to dial in those adjustments for each bait because they all weigh something different. So now I'm gonna go down a brake again to number 4. And this wind, man, is no joke. So dot, 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 dot. It's like Morse code on the spool. Just bam, 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 bam. If that makes sense. You're just basically little taps. And in better conditions, man, you don't even have to touch it. This reel's awesome. This is a Shimano SLX XT. If you're looking to buy a bait caster for your very first time, I can't recommend this thing enough, man. It's an amazing reel for the price. All right, I'm gonna take the brakes down even more. So now we'll see what happens. So you're comfortable, you know, you brought this dial all the way down. Even me, I never really bring it down past 2. On calm days, you can bring it all the way down, but you're gonna need some experience first. Just starting out, man, just keep those brakes on. So I'm gonna take one off, clicked up, close it back up, and now you'll see and you'll hear this spool gets a little more wild. You'll hear it. And check out this release point, by the way. So you'll feel the weight, and it's pretty much right there, just like a baseball. You'll feel it. Let's see if you can see this better. Tap, 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 stop. As soon as it hits the water. This reel is so sick, man. I think it's still dialed in to the point where I might not even have to touch it. Didn't even touch it. And then when it hit, I stopped it. These reels are sweet, man. What are they, $125 or something like that? It's amazing. Pretty simple, and you just practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the less breaks you're gonna need. But even if you're a pro, this wind starts coming in at you really hard, turn your brakes up. Use those tools to your advantage. Stop. A couple more times. I'm gonna take another brake off. Take those. So now I got 2 on, 2 off. This might get a little dangerous now, especially because you can hear that wind picking up. Okay. But it just, you'll feel the spool loosen up. It's like, it just becomes effortless and it just flies so much further. But you know, the looser you got it, the more dangerous it is. So once you're like really into this, man, a really cool thing to dial this in for max casting distance is you can loosen this spool tension up counterclockwise all the way, and you'll hear this little knocking in your spool. And you just want to slowly tighten back on it until that little play knocking goes away. And this is perfect conditions. You're very used to it. That's how to get like your max casting distance, but I do not recommend doing that the first time. Right into the wind, not even touching it until it stops. That's awesome, right? So once you have everything figured out and dialed in, the reel does most of the work for you. That's what's cool about it. If you don't remember to adjust your settings, like I can't tell you how many times I'll be like, all right, I'm done with this jig. I'm going to throw on a little swim bait. I'll go tie it on, blah, blah, or a chatterbait. And I forget to readjust everything for this weight, this bait, this wind. And you'll get out there and first cast, boom, blown up. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. The amount of distance you have between your bait and your rod. You don't want to make a cast with it like that, and you don't want to make a cast with it like that. You want a nice little healthy amount just like that, and it's like a catapult. You just get that weight back and you'll feel it. Before you even cast, you should practice that. Just feel where that weight is going with the lure you have on, and you'll get a feel for when you should let go. And it's like right up there. It's like right in here somewhere. You see how I just skimmed it? You could hear it. But if you have everything dialed in, dude, you barely have to touch them. It's crazy. So that's pretty much it, man. Very simple stuff. Just dial it in for each bait, each environment. Wind is huge. Wind is your biggest enemy with a bait caster. But as you can see, I'm standing, it's blowing right in my face. I didn't blow it up once because I dialed it in. And so that's what you have to do. If you have any questions, definitely hit me up in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, I hope this helped you out, man. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. And if you're into this sort of thing, don't forget to hit subscribe. We put a new video out every single week. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Later. Stop. Now I just got to catch a fish. If you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to check out the rest of the Where We Wild YouTube channel, where we post a brand new video every week. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we post a new adventure. Thanks for watching. See ya.